Yes, we're live.
We're live.
The girl is too quiet. There we go.
You can't stop the girl. All right, we're changing places.
Hello,
Get
everybody.
around. Hey, everybody! Welcome to Hack Check Studios. I'm Thibert, comic book veteran, and with me, working late, is Taylor Grosso.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to be yelling at you today to make sure you can hear me until we get an adequate room mic. So welcome.
Yeah, we're gonna project. You know what? I'm gonna move. I think I'm gonna move this camera down a little bit.
I'm trying to get a look at this view.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I think we got a couple things we'd like to talk about, and we're gonna draw, and Taylor's gonna do some remastering over there on her laptop, and I'll be drawing right here.
Oh man!
Right in this space.
The pathetic nerd is here saying, "I knew this day would come. I just didn't want it to come."
Are you talking about Stan?
Gotta be about Stan the man.
Stan the man. Yep. That's one of the things we want to talk about. The other one, I'm not even sure how I'm going to answer this one, is the Comicsgate question. Are you Comicsgate? So we're going to talk about that. For sure, Taylor is.
I got thoughts.
I just outed you. I don't know what we're going to talk about. I guess we're going to figure it out as we talk. And so, was there anything else? Or was it just those two main, and then we're just going to work?
Yeah, and then we'll be working. I don't know if we'll have anything to show. We'll probably end up talking about Kiss because that's just a part of life now at some point. But,
yeah, it's in our corner.
But this is the Stan the Man power hour right now.
Yeah. So I'm going to be working on this. Probably inking it up, tightening up the pencils. This is a little, are you looking at this, Taylor?
Yes, it's adorable.
It's a little Whitney sung flashback shot.
I love it.
And she's presenting her little find to the villain who's going to use that find for evil.
This is a big story panel.
Oh, shoot. Should I not have shown it? What?
No,
you guys can't see it anymore.
I do have a question.
Okay.
Is Whitney's hair as a child, is it going to be white or is it going to be black?
I'm going to answer the question this way. Are you guys watching? X's mean black.
Oh.
Did you see this, Taylor, though? These little specks?
I see them now.
It's going to be snowing.
Ooh,
yeah.
I love elements.
So you're going to totally know, like, this environment has nothing to do with the page that it's part of. So yeah, it's going to be lightly snowing, so she's got a pretty heavy jacket on. And so all the ground's going to be white. And so yeah, her hair is going to be stark black.
Very it's a pretty cool flashback indication. Let me see. We're already getting Stan tributes. Timbertone says, it's snowing. Is it Christmas?
It could be. I don't know. I think I've already said too much.
Don't tell them.
Don't tell them. Don't tell them at all. You're just going to have to wait for this book to come out.
It's a really cool part of the story.
Did I just fold this paper?
Also, it's an all-new part of the story.
It's an all-new Oh, and I don't know. I think I inked this up off stream, so I couldn't wait any longer. So I inked this up, so just to keep you guys up to date.
Turned out
did I do that on stream? I don't remember.
No, I think you finished the read patch.
Okay. So I think I did some of the pencils and some of the inks live, but this is the finish, so that's a patch.
Very pretty.
Pretty. And so this is the finished read patch. So there's going to be some, you know what? Just because I've been talking about it, I'm just going to show you guys the page. We finished it up, and it's at the colorist now. So this is what the finished page will look like.
That's a fresh page.
This just went out today.
Yes.
To the colorist. So one of the fun things we like to do is show you the progress. Do you say progress or progress?
Progress when I want to be classy. Progress when I'm not thinking about it.
Okay, I'm gonna say progress because I feel classy. Oh, you know what, Taylor? You should have had some of that that Mediterranean stew.
It smelled really good.
It was delicious. My wife made Mediterranean stew. I never had it before, but it's kind of like spaghetti, but it has like the pasta aren't noodles. They're like rice It's like rice.
Ooh.
And it has zucchini in it, onion. It's got a tomato base, but the tomato base is it's mixed with chicken broth, so it's really really good. And
spicy.
It has no. It's really mellow and it has like feta cheese in it.
Ooh.
And what else? I'm missing something, but it's delicious. Yeah, chicken. It's shredded chicken. So it's really good. And it's like more like a soup. It's like a real hearty soup. It's really good. So this is a remaster. So this is before, and then this is kind of an example of what we mean when we say remaster. So you can.
Awesome page, says Sheldon.
Well, thank you, Sheldon. We do our best for you. Do you remember? Well, you're a little younger, but there was like, it was TWA or Pan Am or something like that, and their slogan was "We move our tail for you."
Ooh.
Yeah. So guys, we move our tail for you.
I like that.
Yeah.
Hello, true believers. Hello, Veal Ned.
Hey, Bunky.
Aww.
Let's use all of our Stan talk today.
Stanisms.
So yeah, so Stan is the original creator. So we're actually just following in Stan and trying to create our own cool characters in our own cool universe here. So that's that. This is the patch. I kind of busted this up in different. So this is the ground patch. And here's the figure patch. So we patched and the fresh patch, pumpkin patch. So, gosh, I'm so unfocused right now. So also, Taylor, I don't know if you saw this, but I don't know how much this is.
I actually haven't seen it.
Can you see it? It's a little light. It's penciled.
It's a little bit light, but I can see it on
Maybe
screen.
I can move it up a little.
Let me see.
Move it into the light.
Yes, okay. Oh,
Maybe
nice.
I can move the light up higher.
I know what scene that's from.
Yeah, that's the scene that you're cleaning up the backgrounds right now.
Yes.
So this is a patch, and then this is going to be the third panel patch. Is that right? Or fourth panel patch? Fourth.
And that's a gray, you guys, if you don't know.
Yeah, this is Brooks Gray, and I guess he's a sidekick, but he's so much more than just a sidekick. So what should I ink this one? Or you know what? You're working on gray.
I am.
So I think I'm going to start inking up gray.
Let's see.
So yeah, and you guys in the chat, just feel free to chime in. How's the view? Should I move the camera or can you see it?
It looks pretty good.
Okay.
It's actually perfect right now. Let's see, let's read the chat a little bit. Mike, Stan, Nuff said, he touched us all, whether comics, cartoons, movies, or Spider-Man toys. Maybe that was just me. Aww.
Yeah. It's a sad day. Taylor and I were talking. It's almost more of a celebration, I feel.
Yes.
That guy, what is he, 95?
Yeah, he was 95 years old. That's a pretty good run.
It's not just the age thing, but it's also he was still very active, all the way to the end, and so
yes.
Most people don't have that kind of. They're not that instill that type of demand when they get older. So, I mean, it's pretty amazing.
He had a great life, and I think that's like, it is sad, and like it's always hard when somebody passes away. But when somebody's lived a full life like that, and kind of like the dream life for a lot of people, like he had a very good run, and even though it's sad because people will miss him, like you said, it's more of like a celebration. I'm looking at it more as a celebration of the man's life. I was just thinking about. I'm trying to find my Sharpie. There it is. How many characters that I've been fortunate enough to have worked on that he created. That's right. Just all the X-Men and Hulk, Iron Man, well, he didn't create Captain America, but he helped kind of with the modern
version, and I think, you know, I have the X-Men that kind of defines my Marvel career, but I also have a pretty good history with Spider-Man. So,
big history.
Like 3 years on Ultimate Spider-Man. Yeah, so if Stan wasn't around, you know, we wouldn't have Spider-Man.
It's also like, because like you said, even stuff he didn't create, he still had a hand in developing a lot of stuff, regardless of whether he created it or not.
Yeah.
Title says, he was 5 years old when Mickey came out. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Like, not only is that a really good run, but he was born in, like, 1922, I think we read.
Yeah, something like that.
And, like, the things that he saw, like, he saw technology and everything come such a long way in his lifetime. It's kind of amazing.
Oh, yeah. It's nothing short of amazing.
Like, I can't imagine. I'm getting choked up. I can't imagine, like, having a life like that. It's pretty cool. Let's see. You don't die. Oh, Zebulon says, you don't die when your body expires. You die when you're forgotten. Stan Lee will never be forgotten. He's immortal.
Wow. That was good. Thank you for that.
Elizabeth says, hey, watching while I work. As sad as it is, he was reunited with Joan. 70 years of marriage. The man was a legend in so many ways. Aww.
Yeah.
That's absolutely crazy, too, because, like, their marriage was longer than some people's lives.
I'm not even going to go there. I have a career longer than you've been alive. If you guys don't know, Taylor's a youngster.
I mean, you've had a career longer than most. A good career. A career in comics. A dream 25 years in the making. You can pick up Black and White on Indiegogo right now. Alan Bellman is the only one left from the Golden Age, says Silverleaf. Is that true?
Alan Bellman. There was a guy, I did a documentary, San Diego Comic-Con. Oh gosh, what was his name? Maybe it's that guy.
Is Alan Bellman that old?
Look at, can you type it in, Taylor?
I'm looking him up right now. He is, okay, he's a penciler.
If he has a run on Captain America, then I did a documentary.
Oh, he was born in 1924. Okay.
Where we paid tribute to him. He was in Artist Alley one year, and they asked Wilson and we went over to one of the hotels, and they had a whole interview, like a suite, and they did an interview, and they were doing a documentary on that man's life.
Wow.
If it's the guy I'm thinking.
I believe it is. He worked in Trinity Comics and Atlas Comics during the Golden Age of comic books. Still kicking it. He was born in 1924. He was a penciler. What title were you asking about?
Captain America, I believe. Like, he did war comics and stuff, but...
Captain America covers. Let's see if I can find him.
Do they have a picture of him?
Here, I'll grab... He still has an active website. I see a lot of his artwork. Would you recognize him from that? Oh, here's a photo of him.
Let me see.
Here he is. He has glasses on right here.
That's him. Oh my gosh, that's him. Wow, connected dots.
You guys should look him up if you don't know, because he looks like a character. He looks pretty cool.
Well, I don't even know if that interview came out yet.
Oh, when was this?
This was not this past San Diego. It was the year before.
Oh, I remember you talking about that.
Yeah. It was, those people were really, really cool. I have all their names. I should look it up and see if that thing ever came out.
Zebulon, is your Indiegogo still up? Yes, it's in demand if you want to check it out in the links in the description.
Yeah, we just added a new stretch goal. So if you chime in now, or pick up a book, I should say, you can help us get to the next stretch goal.
Yes, that is 20 or 46. Okay,
Yeah.
And that is for the collector's button set. And you can get a look at that button set if you click the link too and check it out. We've posted it around. Let's see. Reunited with Joan, Steve, Jack, and Martin. You know, all the... Wow, I wonder if Alan is the last one.
That is so weird. I hadn't even thought about that until that guy mentioned his name. I was like, I think I did a documentary about that guy.
I should look and see if it's out or not.
All I know is I rocked it.
Did they film you drawing or anything? What did you do?
I think they filmed me drawing a Captain America and
Nice.
And just talking about... they mostly wanted to know about my time at Marvel. So it was more of like the 90s and Marvel and stuff. So I don't know how, you know, you never know how they're going to put those things together,
Yeah.
edit them together.
I'm trying to see. I see that people are talking about filming it. I'm just trying to see if when it comes out, if it has a release date. Apparently, it was shown locally in 2016. I don't know. I'll look into it.
2016 would probably have been the time.
Yeah, let's look into it. See if I can find the clip of you.
If I even made the cut, I've never seen it, so I don't know. I don't know what's in there and what's not.
We'll find it. If we find that clip, maybe I can put it on the channel. Let's see. Zebulon. Great, thank you. Thought I missed my chance. You guys rock. Thank you.
No, thanks in advance for picking up one of the books.
And we still have a lot of the tiers open too, you guys. If you want some of the bigger tiers, we have the ultimate tier is still up there. I think it's one of our biggest tiers left, and you pretty much get everything in that tier, and you get an exclusive mini print of White in one of her alternate designs. It's pretty cool.
Oh, and that just went up. Yeah, we just posted that up as well.
Yeah, so if you want to check that out and see what it looks like, we have it. I think it's pretty cool. Let's see.
I have some layouts too of some of the suit pages. If you guys are really nice to us, maybe I'll show you some of that later.
Be nice.
Be nice, guys. Chime in.
You guys are always nice.
Play nice.
Nice. I can't talk. Let me see.
They are always nice.
Fost. Thumbs up, people. It's helped this channel grow. Thank you, Fost. Yeah, that's another thing. It's always very, very helpful for you guys to thumbs up these videos just because it helps boost our views. And at this time, we are not a monetized channel, and we're trying to kind of expand our audience and get to the most of you that we can. Make some more friends.
Yeah, and I do want to... Did I draw the hands on the back? Yeah. I just realized there's no hands here. I think I drew them on the back of the page. Yeah, and everybody that has PayPal'd us, thank you so much. We're I'm overwhelmed with all the generosity of you guys. So even though we're not monetized, like Taylor had mentioned, we do have the PayPal button, and a lot of you have donated. So I really, really appreciate that. It does help.
Yeah, the donate button is in the description, and like Art said, we're not monetized at this time, so it really does help, and helps with expenses around the studio, and helps us kind of keep this channel going. So thank you guys.
Yeah, big thanks.
Anything helps. We're hoping to get super chats started soon. We're really close, and that's why the thumbs up really helps, because people were asking about super chats, and the reason we don't have them yet is because we are not yet monetized. I know it takes a little while anyway to get approved, but...
Well, I heard there's also like there could be a month waiting time just once you even hit the criteria.
Yes, that's another thing. So anything helps.
So the sooner we can get there.
Oh, I remember. I actually have some... if you guys are interested, I have like some fun facts about Stan Lee.
Ooh, hit us.
Let me pull them up. We'll see how many you know. Did you ever meet him, Art?
Yeah, I met him a couple times. The sad thing is, there's a lot of cool stuff that I've done in my life and people I've met.
That's not sad.
No. It's sad that I don't have pictures of them.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't have any anything. There was a show called it was called Bob Newhart had 3 different TV shows. He had the Bob Newhart show, he had Newhart, and I think he just had the Bob show. And the last one, he was a comic book artist. And so I have a friend that's an art director, or was an art director on that show. And he had put together, like Bob Newhart played a comic book artist on that show. And it was kind of in the Image heyday, like the 90s. And so they invited a bunch of like well-known comic book artists to be on the show, because what they were going to do is they were going to do like an awards, like the episode was about awards. So Bob Newhart, the cartoonist, was up for some kind of best comic or best artist or something like that. And so they invited some real comic book artists to fill out the crowd of the awards ceremony. And some of the comic book artists actually were giving out awards. Like they were up on the podium and they were giving awards and stuff like that. So I think Jim Lee had a moment up there on the podium. I think it was Mark Silvestri and Jim Lee went up and gave some character the award. It might have even been Bob Newhart. And so they also had like not just us young guys, us young Turks, as it were. They also had Jack Kirby was there. Doug Wildey. He was the creator of Johnny Quest, I believe.
Ooh.
They had Sergio Aragonés. I was sitting at the table with Sergio, right in the front, right in the podium.
That would have been a good picture.
Yeah, so I was right in front of the stage, right? Yeah, yeah. Well, I'll get to that part where it gets sad.
No.
And so Jack Kirby's there. Oh my gosh, I'm missing a bunch of like a lot of those. Oh, Bob Kane. Bob Kane was there. I'm missing a bunch of like all those guys. They died shortly after.
There's probably pictures somewhere.
There is, but I wasn't in them. Okay, so anyway, I'm in. You can see me in the show, but I think I get up and shake. My big claim to fame is I get up and shake Sergio's hand. So funny story. So Jim Lee and Mark Silvestri were so busy, I guess they couldn't come to rehearsals. So my buddy Paul Powers and myself. Paul's the one who set up the whole show. So if Paul's listening, hi. Shout out to Paul Powers. He's a storyboard artist, but art director as well.
Great name, by the way.
Yeah, and so he and I actually did the rehearsal stuff. Like we stood in for those two guys, and if they didn't make it there, we were going to fill in for them for the final taping. But they actually showed up because those things take like a week. They take a week to put together. So everybody's there for a week, but those guys just showed up the day of. And there was rumor like that they, I don't know how true this was, but they were kind of holding out for a trailer, and there was like some rock star stuff going on.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was kind of secretly hoping that they weren't going to show up so Paul and I could do the presentation. But yeah, so long story short, everybody had to be dressed in tuxedos and things like that.
Ooh.
So I didn't have like any formal wear like that. I have a suit, but I didn't have anything like that. And so I had to go through wardrobe, Taylor. So Taylor knows this, but you guys don't. Like I'm a really by the book guy. When I give my word, I do my best to keep it.
Yes,
and
you do.
So the person in the wardrobe said right after the shoot, you return this suit to me because
I remember the story now.
My butt's on the line here. And so right after the shoot, because I told him I would do it, So then there was a big photo session. So all the guys that were at the, all the comic book guys were posing with pictures with all the cast members of the Bob Show. And so Paul was like, you gotta hang out. And I go, I gotta get this suit back. I gave the guy my word. He goes, well, you have like 10 minutes or something like that. So I ran across, I think it was Paramount lot. So I ran across the wardrobe. I was taking off the suit as I was running. And so I dropped it off. I put my street clothes back on. And I walked over just as they were finishing the shoot. Just as they were finishing the shoot. So I could see them all lined up and how, where I would have stood and everything like that. And so, yeah, so I didn't get in that photo. And it was in Wizard magazine. It was all over the place. Yeah. And right now, I would have like a picture of me, Bob Kane, Jack Kirby, Doug Wildey, Jim Lee, Mark Silvestri, Paul, Bob Newhart, and all those guys. So, yeah.
That was absolutely horrible.
So, I still keep my word, but man, that was horrible. I got aced out of that photo.
Man, your honor was your undoing.
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking, says Timbertone.
I forgot where we were there because I got a little long-winded. I forgot what we were talking about, but
meeting if you ever met Stan Lee.
Oh yeah. So
no pictures.
Met him, but no pictures. Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. Oh my gosh. I mean, there's probably some footage of, at least there's probably footage of you at the event, and at least you have the memory of having the privilege of being there. But that would have been one hell of a photo.
Oh, the Bob Newhart show? Yeah,
Yes.
I have a tape of it. So there's a tape with me in it with all those guys. But man, that photo would have been so cool.
At first, when you were talking about it, I was misremembering, and I couldn't remember if you got there and the guy accepted the suit back or if the guy wasn't there. Because I've had moments like that in life where you rest and that person isn't there.
Yeah, you kill yourself to keep your word, and then that person's not there. And that happens too.
But did you get to talk to any of them?
Oh, yeah.
That's
no,
cool.
we hung out and everything. Yeah, so I have all the memories, but I don't have that darn photo. Yeah.
Mule says, found a copy of The Amazing Story of Superman. Surprised by seeing Art had 2 clips about his inking of the engagement.
Oh, the documentary, Look Up in the Sky, or what it was, Up in the Sky, yeah. That was a blast to do.
Sorry about that. I really had to clear my throat.
Margot Kidder was, she did hers just before me, because it was a warehouse that they turned into a sound stage.
Oh.
And that's Ken Burns, Taylor. That was like the Ken Burns that put that documentary together. And so they interviewed me, and I think right after my interview, they did Gail Simone. And so they asked me if I wanted to meet Gail Simone, and I was like, yeah, I'll pass.
That's how I would have been, too.
I worked with her on, what was it, Villains United or whatever it was, and I think at the time she was considered a pretty good writer, but I think for me, she fell out of grace pretty quickly after that.
Sorry, Gail. I'm not a fan.
And I just think... I'm just judging her, not even based on her social media and stuff, but just as a talent, yeah.
Yeah, me neither. I'm just, I don't really care about, like, creators' politics and stuff. I'm just not a fan of her work. Sorry, Gail.
Yeah, same.
I think EBS would say you made the right choice, says Timbertone.
Yeah. Yeah, I stand by it.
How many documentaries have you been in, Art? You've been in quite a few.
The Image documentary, I think there's some clips, but the interview I didn't make it in.
Oh, that sucks.
I've been in Spider-Man, which is legendary now. John Malin made it legendary. He called my bluff, and then we had to frame by frame find.
The way he looked?
Yeah, it was like on Mike's stream or something like that. Because they were like, no, you didn't. And then I kind of I have no memory.
Like a little kid, no, you didn't.
Yeah, and so they're like, where is it? And they asked me the scene, and so I told them, and so then John just tried to find it online, and we searched, and we eventually found it.
Oh man, do you remember like the timestamp so people can find it?
No. Oh, in Spider-Man? No, it's the Green Goblin scene where the Macy Gray celebration and all that. Yeah. I was there for a day or two. And then there's Bruce Willis and God, what's his name? He played the villain in that last Animals. What's the
Animals?
The oh my gosh, the Harry Potter spinoff.
Are you talking about the guy that plays Snape?
No.
Oh, Harry Potter spinoff.
No, the Precious Beasts or Fantastic Beasts.
Oh gosh, you're talking about
the villain in that.
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell. Thank you.
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell. I always say the same thing. But I worked with this art director on an MTV project, and he thought from the back of my head and just my dimensions were enough close to Colin Farrell. And so, I
could see that.
I stunt doubled for Colin Farrell, and so it was a day shoot on, I forget what lot, the Sony lot, I think it was.
I picture him like measuring the back of your head, like yes, dead ringer.
But I guess Colin Farrell's character was an artist, and if you don't know Hearts War, I've never, you know what, I've never seen the movie. I think Jaime Mendoza was like, how could you? And he bought it for me for one Christmas.
Aww.
And yeah, Jaime Mendoza used to work here at Hacksack Studios, and I still never watched it. Sorry, sorry, Jaime. He also bought me the first Predator.
What the heck? Really? You've never watched it?
I still haven't seen Predator.
Oh, Jaime.
Yeah, he tried. He tried. And so, yeah, I went in there for a day, and yeah, the character was an artist. Gosh, I gotta find these. And so before I went to the shoot, I did a bunch of, like, he was a cartoonist, but he also did portraits and stuff. And some of them are like Bruce Willis and the characters that were in the concentration camp with him. The backstory is, I think Hearts War is like an internal war in a concentration camp in the Second World War, if I remember properly. So it's like how those POWs deal with, you know, the prison life and the prison camp life and all that stuff. So Colin Farrell's character was a bit of an artist, and so he drew. So a lot of the artwork that they were going, when I say were going to show, was supposed to be that character's. So they hired me to draw like all this stuff. So some of them are like, but it's all like really crude, like caricatures of like Hitler. And I just remember one where it's like a domestic scene, and Hitler's at home, and he's got this big, huge wife with a rolling pin, and she has like an apron on, and she's threatening him with I don't even remember the context to have this stuff.
When they filmed you drawing it, like, did they tell you, like, did they pretty much tell you, like, okay, now draw that? Like, how did they direct you to do it?
Yeah, there was one image that they wanted specifically for me to draw, and so I guess what they call it is pickup shots. So this was a day of pickup shots, I think is what they call them. And so they were just doing a bunch of stuff, just like, I don't know if you guys know what pickup shots, it could be something as silly as like, hey, I'm going to hold this page up to a camera. And then they film that, and then they, I guess, edit that into the film. Or somebody pulls a Post-it off, and, you know, or whatever it is. And so I guess they wanted some close-ups of like Colin Farrell, like what the artwork looked like, because I guess they filmed him drawing, but they never showed specifically what he was drawing. So they wanted a scene like that, I guess, so they could edit it in if they so, you know, saw fit. Yeah. And so then I was hired to kind of stunt double Colin Farrell. So they had him do the setup shot. So he's on, it's like a double bunk and it's all crude like wood and stuff like that. And there's just a little piece of a set. Like there's just like a piece of a wall on the bunk. Like they didn't even build sets because these were just pickup shots. And oh my gosh, they were building those sets and everything in that soundstage while they were filming. The air in that place, you could barely breathe. And Colin Farrell and his buddies, they were chain smokers. So, oh my gosh, the air in that, you could barely see like through the fog. I'm not even kidding. It was horrible. It probably took 10 years off my life. And so, anyway, it came time, like he was drawing on the bunk and he had a cat on his lap. So he's got his little sketchbook and he's drawing and he's got a cat on his lap. So the shot is almost like, I guess, if you guys can see my lap under the table here, it's kind of like the camera's here and it's shot down like it's almost exactly no. The camera was behind me. It was like an over the shoulder shot coming this way, but you could still see my legs and you could see the cat on my lap.
Aww.
Yeah, so I had to draw. So they have like trainers and stuff. So there was like a cat person there. It was so complicated for such a stupid thing. So I had like a soldier's outfit on.
Wait, they actually had you full dressed up?
Yeah.
Do you have pictures?
No.
No.
I have nothing I've ever done.
I would love to see a picture, like period appropriate soldier.
So we need John Malin to do some searching to call me a liar. Like, you did not. Yeah. Yeah, I can't prove any of this stuff, guys. So
You're just saying that to be cool.
You're just going to have to take my word for it. So, there was this drawing I had to do. I can't even remember what it was. But check it out, Taylor. I got there at 6 o'clock in the morning. I didn't leave till like 9 o'clock that night. And so all I did is like, I think my shot ended up becoming the last shot of the day. So then the art director kept going over. It's like, there's really nothing for you to do. Could you just keep practicing that drawing? So,
girl, do you know what I do for a living?
I drew that thing like 50 million times. I'm not even kidding. 50 million. I counted. I don't have any proof of it, but I counted. So,
sure, I'll practice.
Yeah. After a while, I originally drew the drawing too. Like, you know what I mean? So, whatever.
You're practicing your own drawing.
Yeah. So, it would be like drawing this drawing that I'm doing right now, like, 100 times.
Oh my God.
So then he finally came up and he's like, this was the best part of the day, actually. He's like, we're probably not going to get to this until later and stuff like that. And I just remember this guy frantic, like this is those art directors. Well, he was a props master. Yeah, this guy, there was two guys I was dealing with. It was a props master for some reason. I guess because the drawing and the sketches fell under props. And then there was the art director. Yeah, no, these things are insane, Taylor. These Hollywood productions. So I think there were two people I was dealing with. So the props master, I just remember he was all frantic because the director was like, I need a wind-up like record player. I need one. So that guy was like, holy shit, Taylor, the stuff they do spare the moment, it's insane. So that guy was on the phone calling every pawn shop, every like collectible place, everything he could find to get that record player. And at that point, like, price is no object, right? Because they just need, like, the director needs it, you have to do it. And so I just remember that guy, like, we gotta go do whatever. And so
this is not period appropriate.
Yeah, so then also they had to research exactly, like at the spare of the moment. So he's just like, okay, you can go hang out. Like, we're not going to need you. Like, at that point, I guess everything stopped because they didn't have the record player or whatever the hell it was. And so it was cool that I got to bring Eric Benson, who's he worked at the studio with me. He's a brilliant artist. And I was lucky enough I got to bring a friend, because if I would have just been bored. I would have been so bored. So
that would suck.
So we just walked around the lot there, and I believe it was the Sony lot. And so these are timely references, but this will also date when it was. Ellen DeGeneres had, she had her show, like her TV show, not the one
her actual like prime time.
Yeah, her
show.
sitcom show or whatever. And so
I think it was just called Ellen. I don't remember.
They had the '70s show, and Malcolm in the Middle were on. And remember that show Titus?
No, Titus.
It was that stand-up comedian. What's his?
Oh, I
first
do.
name?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, so we just were walking around, and
they let you.
Yeah, we just started walking on these sets and stuff. And we walked in backwards to the '70s show. So we walked in, we literally walked through the garage. You know the garage? And then there's that little backyard set. So we came in through that, there's a back door there. We came in through that backside door, and then we walked out the front part. The front part...
Was Donna playing basketball up front?
Yeah, there's a basketball hoop there, but it opens up on, like, because they do it in front of a live audience.
I always forget about that.
Yeah, so there was like there's bleachers right in front of it.
That's weird.
Yeah. And so we were just walking around, and then security guy came up. He's like, you're not supposed to be here. And it's like, yeah, well, we're filming on this Hearts War thing and blah, blah, blah. And they gave us...
Wait, were you still dressed up?
Yeah.
Yes, it's the best story ever.
And so, yeah, it was like one of those Pee-wee... You remember that where he's just walking around the back lot? And so...
Chris Titus, yes.
Yes, Chris Titus, thank you. You just win a Hack Shack no prize.
Aw. We should make those.
Well, it's the no prize, so you don't get anything. It's like the Marvel no prize.
Aww.
Yeah. You get nothing. You get nothing, sir. Good day. And so, oh gosh, I hope you guys are still around. I know these are boring. This should be...
No, they're not.
Okay.
TC says, don't let SAWs find footage of you drawing Hitler.
Oh my gosh!
And also, art is in Full Metal Jacket.
It was kind of like, it was, I don't know what the material is, like this gabardine. I don't know what, that thick wool, it was horrible. It was all itchy. It was horrible. Anyway, so, I guess the guy was like, oh, I guess you guys are cool. So he just let us hang out.
Wow.
So we walked in the kitchen, and we just walked around the different sets and things like that. And they're all kind of detached. So a lot of this, they're all in that room, but they're all kind of in different places in the soundstage.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. And so we went into the Malcolm in the Middle set, and we weren't welcome there. So
did the mom come yell at you?
No, they weren't filming. They were just like, the sets were there.
That'd be hilarious though.
Yeah. So yeah, it was the Malcolm in the Middle set, and so we were hanging out there, and also the house in the back lot. There's a house. The Malcolm in the Middle house is in the back lot too. So it was all thrashed and had dead grass and everything in it.
That's so weird.
And so, gosh, I don't think we met the guy. It was a voice on a loudspeaker. It was like, you're not supposed to be here. You better vacate right now, or whatever it was. So we're like, oh my gosh, it was like the voice of God or something. So
get out.
Get out. So we ran with haste. And so then we wanted to get on the Titus set, but they were actually, I guess they call it a live set. So they have this red light. So when the red light's on, you're not supposed to go in.
That's ominous.
Yeah, it's like a police light. It's on the outside of the soundstage. So I guess you're also supposed to be quiet, because I don't know if those sound stages are totally like soundproofed. I think they try, but I don't think they're 100%. So that's kind of a warning to everybody around too, to keep it quiet. Quiet down. So yeah, we didn't get to go on the Titus set.
Aww.
But when we were heading back, I think we had lunch at the commissary, and then when we headed back, we saw it was the two brothers, because they're both, like, one's on the '70s show and one was on Malcolm in the Middle, but they're brothers.
Oh.
Was it Danny? I don't remember their real name, but it's Hyde from the '70s show and it's the oldest son on Malcolm in the Middle. I believe they're brothers, and so they were like touring around like crazy maniacs on like in a golf cart. Yeah, so that's our biggest celebrity sighting. Yeah. So then I went back and I did my little pickup shot, and I don't know if any artists are out there and Hollywood comes calling or even advertising, take it, because I made more on that shoot than I did for a month worth of comics. Actually, It was probably more than that. Yeah, it was pretty insane.
That's pretty awesome.
And then the guy, he paid me extra because I was supposed to go on the first thing in the morning, and I didn't till the last thing at night. So he paid me extra for that time.
What?
Yeah, he was really, really cool.
That's pretty cool.
And that's the same guy, he called me to do that MTV Andy Dick show.
Oh, yeah. Have you told that story on here?
I believe so.
With Lobesy?
Lobesy, the Lobe Man, yeah.
Let me see.
But we should talk about Stan the Man.
Yeah, Stan the Man wasn't there for that one, so...
Do you have any of the Stan trivia?
That's right, the facts. Okay. Let me see. Oop, I still have a link to a Kiss Army patch. Let me see.
Hells yeah.
Okay, so this is 10 amazing facts about Stan Lee. Alright, comic book legend Stan Lee's life has always been an open book. Yes, okay. Alright, number 1. His wife was also his barber. I don't know if that's like an amazing fact, but that's very sweet.
He married his hairdresser.
Was she actually? Because there's a stupid ad, so I'm trying to read this right now.
It's very rare to find like a female barber. I wonder if she was a barber.
Or if she was just like the hairdresser that preferred the term barber.
I wonder what the difference is. Like, I think a barber will shave. Like, is that the difference between like a barber and just a...
You know what? I don't know.
A person that cuts hair.
Let's see. As a bit of a throwaway fact, Stanley Martin Lieber, aka Stan Lee, revealed the secret of his slicked back mane on the second page of his memoir. My whole adult life, I've never been to a barber, he wrote. Joni always cuts my hair. Aww.
Oh, okay.
That's sweet. Let's see. Joan Lee was a British-American model and voice actress. Oh, was that his wife?
His wife, yeah. I knew she had something to do with, like, Hollywood or acting or something.
I'd recommend that you guys read this article, but it's on mentalfloss.com and it has a million commercials. This is being really annoying right now. Okay, number 2. His confidence came from his mother. Lee wrote that as a child, he loved to read books by Mark Twain, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, Jules Verne, H.G. Wells, and others. Who doesn't? And his mother often watched him read. I probably got my self-confidence from the fact that my mother thought everything I did was brilliant. I don't know how I feel about that. That's very sweet, but... Young Stan Lee wrote obituaries, is number 3. Before writing about fantastic lives of fictional characters, Lee wrote antemortem obituaries for celebrities at undisclosed news offices in New York. He said that he eventually quit the job because it was too depressing.
It would be.
That would be really
horrible.
Depressing. I wonder if they're uncredited, because I don't think they have like...
Oh yeah, they don't credit.
They don't ever do that. And
that would be really weird.
He writes the best obituaries. Let's see. Number 4.
Let's get Stan to write ours.
Aww. I can only imagine. What if they're all action-packed?
He lived a fruitful action-adventure lifestyle. When he met his beautiful, what would it be like? I'm trying to think. All like beautiful whatever wife. She was heroic in her own way.
Aww. That'd be very sweet. Okay, number 4. Captain America was his first big break. A week into his job at Timely Comics, Lee got the opportunity to write a 2-page Captain America comic. 2 pages. He wrote it under the pen name Stan Lee, which later became his legal name, and titled it Captain America Foils the Traitor's Revenge. His full comic script would come out in Captain America issue number 5, published on August 1st, 1941.
Wow.
That's quite a big first break there. Number 5. He wrote training films for the Army with Dr. Seuss.
Wow, that's cool.
After being transferred from the Army's single corps in New Jersey, Lee worked as a playwright in the training film division in Queens with 8 other men, including a few who went on to be very famous. Pulitzer Prize-winning author William, I can never say his actual name, sayer and cartoonist Charles Addams, creator of the Addams Family, director Frank Capra, from Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, and It's a Wonderful Life, and Theodore Geisel, better known as Dr. Seuss. Wow. I forgot he did, was he a veteran? Was he actually, let me see. Yeah, so
I think that was, that was his way he served.
That's pretty cool. Number 6. He defied the Comics Code Authority with an anti-drug comic. I remember this is the one I actually know. Have you ever actually read that?
No.
I've always wanted to. In 1971, Lee received a letter from the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare asking him to put an anti-drug message in one of his books. He came up with a Spider-Man story that involved his best friend Harry abusing pills because of a breakup.
Oh, I do remember that, but I never read it. Yeah.
The CCA would not approve the story with their seal because of the mention of drugs, but Lee convinced his publisher, Martin Goodman, to run the comic anyway. Everybody should go track that down.
My publisher, Martin Goodman.
Let me see.
Spider-Man.
Number 8. His wife destroyed his prized typewriter. Oh wait, number 7, before that really sad one. An issue at the printers turned the Hulk green. The character was supposed to be gray, but according to Lee, the printer had a hard time keeping the color consistent. So as of issue number 2, Lee wrote, with no explanation, that he turned green.
Because he was kind of gray at the beginning.
I always forget about that. Green is, I think, looks better. Alright, 8. His wife destroyed his prized typewriter. According to Lee, during an argument, Joni destroyed the typewriter he used to write the first issue for characters including Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four, and the Fantastic Four. This happened before eBay, he wrote. Too bad. I could have auctioned the parts and made a mint. Oh my gosh. Let me see. I always thought if I was a guy in a situation like that, I would start crying to see how she'd react. I was like, no! To see if she'd be like, oh, gosh.
Well, we talk about that, like how that's weirdly, accepted, like it has to be accepted. When a girl starts throwing all your CDs out the window of a moving vehicle or something. Or out your apartment window and starts throwing all your comic collection out.
Yeah, I don't know why that's socially accepted.
Well, if a guy did that to a woman, oh my gosh, he'd be in jail.
I can't even imagine. I can safely say I've never and will never do that to anyone. All right. Number 9. A fire destroyed his interviews and lectures. When Lee moved his family to Los Angeles, he set up a studio in Van Nuys, where he stored videotapes of his talks and interviews, along with a commissioned bust of his wife. I wonder who did the bust. The building was lost in a blaze that the fire department believed was arson, but no one was ever charged with the crime.
Huh.
Interesting. I wonder what time that was around. It doesn't actually say. I wish I had a date so I could tell. Let me see. Sheldon says, throwing all your 8-track tapes out the window.
I can honestly say I never supported that technology.
Compact disc.
What a waste of time.
Compact disc. You are old. Hey, I still use CDs. Let me see.
I have an MP3 player.
Testosterone Overload says RT Bear's channel is the most underrated in Comicsgate.
Oh, thank you.
Somebody knows.
Let's get the word out.
Don't forget to share.
I want to be overrated.
Our Dreamers channel is the most overrated. Isn't quite as sweet. All right, number 10. His favorite Marvel film cameo was based on one from the comics. Beginning with the first Spider-Man film in 2002, Stan Lee has made quick cameos in Marvel films as a service to the fans. He said that his appearance in Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer 2007 was inspired by the story of Reed and Sue Richards' wedding in Fantastic Four Annual Volume 1, Number 3, in which he and artist/writer Jack Kirby attempted to crash the wedding but were thwarted. Aww. Alright, what was your favorite, and the chat too, you guys, what was your favorite Stan Lee cameo in the Marvel movies?
You know what? My favorite cameo isn't, well, if you don't agree that this is a Marvel movie, then I'll figure out another one. But it was that Big Hero 6.
Oh, yes.
Like where he was that guy's dad. That was actually my favorite one.
That was great.
I think my favorite, it's all the underrated stuff. If that doesn't qualify as a Marvel movie, it would be the first. It wasn't the first Hulk. It was the first official Marvel, I think, Universe Hulk, with Ed Norton, which, by the way, is a lot better movie than I think some people give it credit for. I actually like it, but he drinks like a soda, like they work at a soda bottling plant or something, and some of the like I don't know what it was. It was like Hulk's blood or something. There's like a drop of it gets into the. Okay, I think I remember this right, and if anybody in the chat, because it's hilarious. Okay, Taylor, do you remember the scene I'm talking about?
No,
okay.
I don't remember it.
I think Ed Norton as Bruce Banner is trying to lay low, right? So he works in, like, is it Mexico or it's like some, or Peru or like Brazil or somewhere. Like it's not a U.S. it's not a U.S. State, or it's not in this. God, maybe it was Brazil. And so he's like repairing like all this old bottling plant, and it's like a soda. It's like I forget what it's called. It's like some kind of fruit soda, like a fruit juice carbonated thing. It sounds like good. and so you know, those Sobeys are really good too.
Yes,
those things are all
those.
sugar, but anyway, those aren't carbonated. So anyways, it's like that. So there's some kind of like there's these thugs that don't like this guy because he's an American or something like that. So they go after him.
Oh, and the chat is chiming in.
Yeah, and I think they shoot him.
Brazil, and yeah, it was a drop of blood apparently.
Yeah, and there's a drop of blood. That it's like, if you think of that scene in Laverne and Shirley, timely reference, where they're working the bottle, you know, and there's all the bottles on the line going through,
Yeah.
and then it's like slow motion where you see like. Goes into the bottle. The blood goes into the bottle.
Gross.
And so then they cap it off and everything, and they ship it to Stan Lee. And so Stan Lee, he cracks it open, he takes a swig, he goes, "That's got quite a punch," or something like that. He drinks Hulk blood.
The chat says, refreshing.
Oh, refreshing. You know what? Okay, that's gotta be, okay, who's gonna top that? That has to be the best Stan Lee cameo, right?
I think so. That's a pretty good one.
Okay, what's your favorite, Taylor?
I don't know. I gotta think. I hated the Spider-Man one where he just kind of walked up and was kind of like, Spider-Man's reading a billboard. He's like, you know, that's true. I was like, that was a non-cameo. That doesn't count.
You know, that's
What was his cameo in Black Panther? I can't remember.
Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to remember all the ones he's done. Let me see what people are chiming in. Ed Norton was much better than the Ang Lee Hulk, at least. Yeah. The library scene in The Amazing Spider-Man, he's listening to music while Spidey fights the lizard.
That was pretty comical, yeah.
That was pretty funny. The Ed Norton one was, yeah. Okay. Deadpool #1. I don't know. Is he a veteran or something in that cameo?
Maybe.
In the Ed Norton Hulk movie, Stanley is poisoned by the gamma radiation in Bruce Banner's blood that was found in the carbonated beverage. Or he got his powers.
I know, that's what I always thought. It's absolutely gross. It's funny. It's like it's a ton of things all in one. Like that idea is a cornucopia of disturbing concepts.
Oh, Zebulon says, in Deadpool 1, he was introducing a stripper named Chastity as an MC in a strip club.
Oh, that's right.
Sheldon says, the Teen Titans Go movie is funny. He showed up. He forgot it wasn't a Marvel movie, but they forced in a cameo anyway.
Wait a minute. If
that's true, that's hilarious.
Is that true?
Apparently he shows up in the movie. It's like, this isn't a Marvel movie. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was good with the Watchers. That was a weird one.
I thought that was weird.
I thought that was really weird. My favorite that I can remember was him bringing Tony a package in Civil War, and he says, "Package for Tony stank."
Oh, that was a good one.
Or Age of Ultron, where he is toasted on Asgardian ale. that was a good one.
Which one was that?
In Age of Ultron, toasted on Asgardian. Is he at the party or something?
Oh yeah, okay, that was one I was gonna mention.
That's a good one.
Where he's just like singing, he's all drunk.
Yeah.
And then doesn't he says something? He just stands up to Thor and goes, "Yeah, we'll tell that to what?" Because he like some like war or battle reference. He goes, "Tell it to whatever in WWII or whatever."
Did he have a cameo? I can't remember what his Captain America one was. He could have been Cap's war buddy.
The first Captain America?
Yeah.
Wow, I don't remember it either.
I don't remember. It's been so long. It's so weird that he's like a part of all these movies, and you guys probably already know this, but apparently he's gonna be in like, they've filmed him for like tons of movies still. Let me see. In Black Panther, he was in the casino, says Rhaegar.
Okay.
I kind of remember that one. I remember all the early, like, Spider-Man ones. I liked in the first Thor one where he was backing up the truck.
Oh, with the hammer, they're pulling, yeah.
And he's like, did we get it?
Did we get it?
Yeah.
Isn't Straczynski in that too?
I think so.
I think he's one of the characters in there.
The Big Hero 6 one is a good one, though. An underrated one. Don't you have to wait till after the credits to see it?
I think so. He has that secret room, and there's all those tights and everything.
It's like his dad, right?
Yeah, his dad was like this hero. And his dad was Stan Lee.
That's hilarious. It's pretty cool that, like, even my little brother knows who he is.
I think he's, as the history books, he will be the most noteworthy comics creator of all time. I don't see any, like, just as far as outside of this industry.
Yes.
Just as far as recognized or being recognized and things, yeah.
I'm sure somebody's probably already compiled all the cameos and stuff that he's made together by now. But it would be cool to see.
Yeah. I bet you if Marvel was very cool, I think the next home... God, what movie would it... What did they just put out? Is everything on Blu-ray now?
You know,
what was the last theatrical Marvel movie? Was it the Avengers one, or was it Ant-Man and the Wasp?
I think.
That's out now.
That's the latest DVD release, I think.
Blu-ray, yeah. So, yeah, they would probably have to do it with the next movie release. But I was thinking that could be like a tribute. Like, there's going to definitely be a tribute to Stan Lee on one of those bonus features. So it would be cool if they did like a compilation of all of his cameos and just edit them all together.
They should. It's going to be really weird this time around, like seeing it. Like seeing and knowing. I don't know. Somebody...
That sounded really sad.
I know. I was trying to put a positive spin on it at the end, and I couldn't think of one. But again, it's hard to be too sad. I'm trying to think of like every single, because there's been so many Marvel movies now too, and he was doing them before the Marvel conjoined universe. Because he started doing them in the Spider-Man movies, which is weird to think about. How long before they have a Stan Lee CGI cameo? I don't think they need to. Because apparently they filmed them for like the next generation of Marvel movies, supposedly. Let me see. Stan Lee CGI cameo is similar to what Star Wars does with Star Wars actors. Ugh. I'm not into the Star Wars actors CGI.
Yeah, I don't know. I think at that point it would just be time to move on to something else. Yeah. I don't want to see that. I think it'd be kind of sad for me. He started in 1978 with a live wedding of Spider-Man where he was officiant. Is that true? Well, I don't know.
Let's see. There are a few Marvel cameos in that one. In which one? Stan Lee. Somebody was saying he made an appearance in Mallrats. I don't remember that.
I've never seen Mallrats.
I've never seen Mallrats. Well, actually, that's not true. I saw Mallrats a really long time ago. The appearance in Mallrats was epic. Now I want to see. Faust, how quickly do you think Marvel is going to cash in on Stan's passing? Aww.
I hope they don't try to do it at all. Yeah.
After not bothering to help the guy out the past couple of years. I hope they don't. That sounds absolutely awful.
Yeah.
He played himself in Mallrats and gave Jason Lee life advice.
Jason Lee is isn't he a Scientologist? So maybe the advice was don't go to Scientology.
That was in real life. They didn't mean to film it.
Don't do it, Jason.
I always liked, did you ever hear the story where they said, oh God, what's the actor that played the original Obi-Wan? Where they said that he tried to tell Mark Hamill to get his life together and not race those cars.
Really?
Yeah, apparently he was like, don't do it. You're going to get hurt really bad and ruin your career. And then right after that was when he got in a horrible accident. Or was it Ben Affleck? I don't remember. Jason Lee has given up on Scientology. He was a Scientologist for a long time.
He's reborn.
Let me see.
He left Scientology, that's why he's not working in Hollywood anymore.
Alright, I got a list of every Stan Lee's Marvel movie cameos.
Uh-oh.
Okay, apparently his first one was in 1989 during the trial of the Incredible Hulk. So during this little-known TV movie is a spin-off of the 1970s Incredible Hulk series, starring Lou Ferrigno.
What was the song? The when he would walk away, yeah, it was all sad. He'd be on the side of the road hitchhiking.
The film featured both the Hulk, Ferrigno, and Daredevil, Rex Smith, as they teamed up.
Rex Smith.
That's a horrible name. As they teamed up to try to take down Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin.
Wait a minute, the Hulk's trying to take down Wilson Fisk with Daredevil?
Apparently, when David Banner, Bill Bixby, who is living as David Belson, this is confusing, is wrongfully accused of a crime, Daredevil's alter ego, Matt Murdock, is assigned to his case. Stan Lee made his first ever live-action cameo in the film as a jury foreman at the trial in David's nightmares.
He's guilty, Bunky.
We, a jury, find him
guilty.
In his dream, David hulks out, tearing the courtroom to pieces as Stan and the other jurors flee in terror.
I hold you in contempt.
And then he was in... In 2000, I think that there's more between this. I thought 2000 he showed up in X-Men. And he was on the beach in that infamous scene. The film that is often credited with sparking the current superhero movie renaissance. God, how old is this article? X-Men brought together the classic members of the mutant team to battle Magneto. I don't need to read the synopsis, you guys already know.
Is that the first one?
Yes. Let's see. The citizens of New York early in the film. Oh, Senator Kelly is used to test the mutating machine on, and his new powers allow him to escape Magneto.
Oh, I think Lin Wayne, and there's a couple other people in that scene, I think.
Oh, let me see.
I think so.
Oh, they don't mention the other people, but I think there is, because there's like a crowd of guys.
Like maybe Chris Claremont, and yeah.
That would make sense. Stanley appears and Kelly emerges from the water, shocking beachgoers. Lee, meanwhile, is hanging out at a hot dog stand on the beach as Kelly strides past. And then in 2002, in Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
The first of many Spider-Man movies. We all know what that one. Then he was in Daredevil in 2003.
The Affleck one?
Yeah, he's like walking next to the young Ben Affleck, like reading a newspaper. Let me see. 2003, made a cameo in The Hulk, and he's standing next to Lou Ferrigno. This film marked the first time that Stan Lee got a speaking role in a Marvel cameo. That's weird to think about. Despite the fact that many fans disliked this adaptation, and star Eric Bana was replaced with
he was a pizza guy or something, wasn't he?
I don't know. There's a picture of him just
And then he
standing.
hands Lou Ferrigno like a slice, and Lou eats it, I think.
That's funny. His first line, security ought to be beefed up a lot more in places like this. And in 2004, he's in Spider-Man 2. Let's see. I don't actually remember this one. Stanley once again appears below the carnage as part of the crowd fleeing the war scene. Again, he saves someone. This time a woman who would have otherwise been hit by falling debris. So he grabs some chick. Fantastic Four is where he's I think he's a delivery guy there. But he's like a postman.
He's the character from the comic. Oh, what was his name? When I did Fantastic Four, we used that character.
That's an actual character?
That's a character, yeah. And he would be like a regular, and he would deliver mail to the Baxter.
Willie Lumpkin.
Willie Lumpkin, yeah.
This film marks the first time that Lee played a character from the comics. He appears as postal worker Willie Lumpkin, a reoccurring mailman in the Fantastic Four comics. In the movie, Lee/Lumpkin delivers mail to Reed Richards in the lobby of the Baxter building. Wow, that's a good one. Let's see.
Willie Lumpkin.
Let's see. Stan Lee played a general in Captain America, mistakes another guy for Cap, and says, I thought he'd be taller.
Okay, I remember that now.
Alright, did you ever see the crossover between Lou Ferrigno, the Hulk, and Thor? You should watch it. It's hilarious. They sent you a link if you want to watch it later.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I've never seen it, but I've seen all the clips and different things from it. It looks pretty bad. I do like cheesy stuff like that, though. So when I say bad, I mean like...
Apparently no Daredevil, but it was Thor and Hulk at least.
Yeah, I think the Daredevil and Hulk is weirder than Daredevil or Thor and Hulk.
Rhaegar says, why the Post-it notes, Art?
Oh, because I don't like the drawing. I don't want you guys to see it.
Let me see. The song, I guess the song at the end of the Hulk series, is the Lonely Man theme from the Incredible Hulk TV series, and it was created by the series composer Joe Hamill.
Taylor's got like a crazy memory for like rhythms and melodies of songs.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. That's like the one thing that really triggers my memory is music. Let me see. And then he was in X-Men The Last Stand. The Last Stand. He was a appearance as the neighbor. He was in the neighborhood Gene grew up in. He's like watering his lawn.
That's right. I think isn't like Chris Claremont like mowing his lawn or something? It's like, I think there's two of them. Maybe that's the one I was thinking that had Chris Claremont in it.
Where there's like multiple.
Yeah.
This is the one I didn't like, which is the Spider-Man 3. I hope they have the actual line he says. Let me see. He appears as Peter notices his name up in lights as a Times Square bulletin declares that Spider-Man will be given key to the city. Once again filling the role of the nameless man on the street, here it is. Lee walks up as he is staring at the rolling letters and says, "I guess one man can make a difference. Nuff said." Someone get this man an Oscar already, says the article. Nuff said. Okay, Fantastic Four Rise. I actually have never seen the Silver Surfer Fantastic Four. Have you, Art?
No, I have not either.
I was already kind of signed off by that one. That Thor looked almost as bad as Captain America from the 70s with his motorcycle helmet, says Ray.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
I remember in Iron Man's a good cameo. That was the one where he was the first Iron Man. He's at Tony's party and he has those two girls on each of his arms. He's wearing like a smoking jacket, like Hugh Hefner.
Oh yeah, I think he calls him "Hey Hef" or whatever.
Let me see. Yeah, he is. He looks like, at least he looks like him. He's at the red carpet. Oh, it says here it is. As he attends a red carpet alongside Tony Stark, who pats him on the shoulder, mistaking the elderly gentleman for Hugh Hefner. I guess he kind of looks like, what?
Hey, Hef.
Oh, there's the Hulk one. The drink is called Pingo. What is it? Pingo Dose? That's the drink that has the Hulk blood in it. Let me see. Iron Man 2 is where he looked like he was like a journalist or something. And he looks like Larry King. It says he makes a cameo at Stark Expo where he is mistaken for Larry King. He's wearing suspenders and stuff. Lawrence Fishburne is Silver Surfer. It's worth it.
Lawrence Fishburne is Silver... He just does the voice, right?
It has to.
There's no mocap. That'd be so weird.
That would be really weird. Was it the Captain America movie that had Reb Brown?
That's the guy with the motorcycle helmet, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a little bit before your time.
Yeah, I don't know about the old series.
Hey, look up what year that Spider-Man TV, the cartoon, came out. Because the thing that's so weird, if I remember right, that Spider-Man was licensed almost immediately after the comic came out. Like, there was no struggling, waiting to find an audience. Because I think that cartoon series came out shortly after.
Oh, there's so many Spider-Man animated series.
It's the one... It's
1967?
67, that's what I thought. I think Spider-Man came out 66?
Yes. Let's see, Spider-Man... It was designed by Steve Ditko. The series ran from September 9th, 1967 to 1970. And I believe this is the original... Yeah, it was the original TV series.
The one that Spider-Man.
Yes.
Spider-Man. From the neighborhood Spider-Man. He'll spin a web any size.
Does he catch thieves?
Just like flies. Look out. He gets all Dio. Look out. There goes the Spider-Man. Somebody should do that. You know how they do that with that, what is it, her name? Oh gosh, what is that country western? I always want to call her Sinead O'Connor or Sinead. What is her name?
Shania
Twain. It's the blonde young girl, the gorgeous. What is that?
Oh, Sheryl Crow?
No, she's
not
younger.
young anymore.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sheryl Crow.
But they have her singing, and then they had that goat. Have you seen that?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. That's it. Yeah.
I love goat screams. This is the best video.
But you could do like the Spider-Man. Look out.
Look out.
Look out. There goes the Spider-Man.
Ray Fulu says, I like the Ramones cover of that theme.
That thing is awesome.
It is.
That Ramones cover is so good. Look out! That guy's voice is so weird. There goes the Spider-Man.
Let me see. I'm gonna head out. It's getting kind of late round. Well, thank you for joining us, Timber.
Yes, thank you.
There's a lot of you guys in the chat right now, so thanks for joining us. I know it's a little late where some of you guys are.
And I know there's a lot of competition, so I appreciate you guys hanging.
Yes, for sure.
With us. I think I forgot to draw through this.
Totally not worth it. Fantastic Four was terrible. Galactus was a cloud, says Simon.
That's what I heard. Yeah, he was just like a special effect, right? Just kind of like a moving, like...
That's kind of what they did with oh my gosh, what is the character's name? Parallax, too. Remember in Green Lantern? He was like a cloud.
Oh my gosh. That movie...
I had a really weird, well, you had a weirder experience, but I had a strange movie-going experience seeing that for the first time.
What was your experience?
I had a friend at the time who's not a friend anymore. He's a huge jerk, but he loved Green Lantern. And
what's his name?
I'm not going to say his name. He always wanted to get into comics, but anyway, he was really, really into Green Lantern. We kind of both bonded over liking Green Lantern at the time. It was kind of around like, Brightest Day, Blackest Night type era. Anyway, we were both really into it, but that was like his favorite thing. So that movie was coming out, and he was super excited about it, and he would accept no criticism of the trailers. Because I was like, I want to see it, but I don't have high hopes because it looks really weird. And he was just like, no, it's going to be amazing. So he made this big event of it for like his birthday or something, where we bought tickets to see the premiere of it at the ArcLight Theater in LA. So we drove all the way out there, paid for these tickets, made this big event for that movie. So we went and saw it, and I just remember after it ended, and everybody knows how that movie was, like, he was just like, what did you guys think? And I was like, that was really bad. And he was just like, no, it wasn't. It's too soon. Like, you don't have an opinion on it yet. And I was like...
You need to sleep on it.
Yeah, he's just like, just think about it. And I was like, I don't know. I didn't really like it. And he was just like, well, like, if you love Green Lantern as much as me, then you would really appreciate it. And he, like, went crazy with nerd rage about defending that movie. And it was like, I had the worst secondhand embarrassment from it. And I was really mad that I paid that much for tickets at that fancy theater to see that terrible movie. And it was super awkward because we were like a group of people, and he was just like, no, it was good. And I was like, what about this part and this part? And like everybody in the group was just kind of like, okay, we don't care. Can we go home now?
I got invited to, I mean, that's horrible, but I got invited to a DC premiere party for that movie. And so after that, a bunch of us went out to lunch. And this is like Jeff Johns and Lynn Wein and Dan DiDio and Mike Carlin, a bunch of people. And so we all kind of had to pretend that it was a good movie because nobody really wanted to say anything.
And you don't want the movie to be bad.
No, I didn't want. I wanted the movie to be good. And I was one of the few people that was defending the early like costume stuff because they were saying, oh, look at his eyes, it's a painted on costume and stuff like that. And I'm not a big technology guy, obviously, but I thought it was kind of a neat idea that they painted the suit on digitally and that it had kind of that living pulse, like energy through it.
It's like organic.
Yeah, it was like moving, like pulsating, like veins or I don't know what, like blood pumping. And I thought, at the time when I saw the trailer and everything, I thought it was kind of cool, but
at least you were open to it.
Yeah, and so I think still to this day it's the least offensive aspect to that movie.
Yeah, I mean that movie just has so much wrong with it anyway.
Yeah.
At least it's like there's a lot wrong with it in like a cartoonishly kind of silly way, as opposed to like Man of Steel, where it's really serious and not fun.
Yeah.
Like, you can laugh at Green Lantern, and you can't really laugh at Man of Steel.
Yeah, it's really sad. It's depressing.
Let's see. From my experience, people who are not familiar with DC like it more. I don't know anybody who likes that movie, though.
Maybe, but I just think the villain was all, in that Green Lantern movie, the villain was all wrong, and his arc was wrong. I just thought what they should have done, in a nutshell, I don't want to go off on like how I would fix Green Lantern, although I could.
That could be another video.
Is I thought it should have been more of a personal journey. I mean, it's modeled after Aladdin, so
Ooh, I never thought about that.
I thought like it should be more of like, this guy has this power, and what's he going to do with it, and like the mystery of it. So I thought what would have been cool is if Hal gets the ring, but doesn't know the purpose of it. He doesn't know what it's for. He doesn't know anything about anything. Because the way it is in the movie, he gets kind of the answers so fast. Like, it should have been a journey movie. The whole movie should have been him trying to figure out what the ring is, what it's used for, and what he can do with it, and all that other stuff. And then I thought, you have your subplots where, you have your villain and you have these other things. So then, in a nutshell, he ends up saving the day cosmically because he finally figures out what to do with it and how to do it and everything. And along the way, he's saving the day and doing other heroic things as well. But then at the end, the Guardians, finally, he's on their radar. And they're like, who's got what's-his-name's ring? This Earthling does. And they're like, and maybe that could be one of the plots that's kind of following, through while Hal's on his adventure.
I like where this is going.
And then at the very end, he gets called in. The ring calls him to Oa, and then the bigger world is exposed at that moment in time. And he sees all the other Green Lanterns, and he sees the the guard, or what are they? What are the blue guys? Little Owens, the Oas.
Oh my god.
The big-headed blue guys.
Yes.
Yeah. He sees those guys, and then he's introduced Sinestro and all that other stuff at that point. But at the very end, so then you start, like, for the next, it sets up for another movie. So you realize that there's going to be this grand epic adventure, and also that maybe this bigger world doesn't really like him, so that maybe the next movie isn't going to be, it's not going to go very easy for him. He's going to have a bit of a struggle. He's got to prove himself to these guys. I don't know. I just thought that
what you just told was an actual story as opposed to what they did.
Yeah, they give it away. They give it away at the beginning, and then like what's his name, Kilowog, which I love that character. Like hey Poser,
You're Poser,
and then he just punches him. Is like, oh well, that's not gonna do. Well, yeah, like he doesn't know anything.
That's the first thing you gotta learn, is to expect a sucker punch from your friend.
Right, and then and then they just kind of keep on like just beating him down, like he's supposed to know all this stuff. It's like, well, no, it was kind of an accident that this even happened. He was chosen. He doesn't understand anything. And I just thought, like, the level of compassion and stuff that was there was next to nothing. Like, I thought the Owens or Owas, the Guardians were supposed to be like
wise
and kind and whatever, but they were kind of jerks.
Yeah, they also just seemed very, you know what they reminded me of? They reminded me of the Jedi
The Council.
prequels.
Yep. Like
we don't really care.
Yeah, we don't care. We don't really have much to do. Because it was like, Sinestro's like telling them what to do. Like, well, I think you should do whatever. Well, I don't think that's right, Sinestro. And then the next thing, Sinestro's like doing it anyway.
Well, I don't respect you.
Yeah, I'll do it anyway. I don't care. Yeah.
Okay. That's true to form. They were jerks in the books as TC. They were sometimes jerks. They weren't always jerks, I would say.
Yeah.
I think that at best, sometimes they were detached because they were dealing with the universe as a whole, so it was hard to prioritize small planets and stuff. They seemed very callous. but I wouldn't say that they were jerks on the whole. I hate when they radically alter the look of characters, so I was shocked to see them all true to form. Yeah, their designs were kind of bad. Let me see. That would be a great movie. And then Elizabeth said, I'd watch it. No one is 100% a jerk, says Title. That's not true.
Case in point, Taylor just told you about her friend. Or her ex-friend.
He was a jerk. I drove him to LA every weekend so he could visit his girlfriend.
Wow.
I know. Well, not every. That's an exaggeration. Not every weekend. Sometimes my other friends drove him.
Every other weekend.
Yeah. Tell it to Mark Wade. James Hayes. Hey. Well.
Taylor didn't drive Mark Wade.
I didn't drive Mark Wade to visit his girlfriend.
Or did she?
How do we know they're not the same person? No, they're not. He's probably listening to this right now. He likes random stuff on my old DeviantArt. He was obsessed with Danzig. Anyway, that's enough about that. He used to wear, like, I don't mean to shame.
I like that she says that's enough of this, and then she goes into a story.
Well, because this is just funny, because you know there's like a lot of crossover between like comics and like musicians. And he was like a typical looking comic book nerd guy, but then he always wore this really big like metal Glenn Danzig emblem. Like it was like the Danzig skull on a chain. But he wasn't like a metalhead looking guy. He just kind of looked like a comic book nerd, but he always wore that.
I don't know about that.
As I look for Kiss Army patches. That's just ridiculous.
I don't know. Patches are always cooler than a necklace.
That's true.
Especially on a guy.
Yeah, especially on like a big chain. Let me see. It was a rip. Title, what are you talking about? It was a rip from Guardians of the Galaxy. No one is 100% an a-hole.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That was a great line in that movie.
That was a good line. The first Guardians of the Galaxy is really good. I don't remember if that's from the second one or the first one, but
that's from the first one.
The first one is like really good.
I got your dick message. Oh no, they got my dick message. He's all excited.
The underrated part is when he tries to put the moves on Gamora and she's like, "Get out of here! I'm not falling for your pelvic sorcery." Sheldon, Art, or Taylor, how did you and Art team up?
Go ahead, tell us.
I've told this story a couple times, but Art put out an ad for people to work in the studio at a local comic store that I used to go to a lot. And I answered the flyer and started out doing blacks here and then moved on to minor backgrounds, and we've been working together ever since. And I think you were working on the beginning of Savage Hawkman when I got here. I think you had just ended Deathstroke.
So that was the new 52 stuff, yeah.
I think you're mid Hawkman, and if you guys haven't seen the Savage Hawkman stuff that Art worked on, it's really, really cool. And you can see the you can actually browse some of the ink pages on artbythibert.com. Some of the pages are up for grabs on there, and that's where we sell the original art and stuff, and a lot of Art's work is up there with DC and Marvel. But it's also like a cool, almost like a big gallery too. You can look at all this stuff from the past.
Thank you. And we're going to have a big Black Friday sale too for original artwork and books and prints and stuff. So
that's right. Yes. So stay tuned because Black Friday is the 23rd, I think.
I think so. The day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Rhaegar says, "I love that movie with all my heart. The first Guardians, that's worthy."
Yeah, that movie's really good.
Yeah. That is a really good one.
They got my dick message. That cracks me up.
It's one of the better, I know it's not first run Marvel movies, but it's one of the better, like, origin story Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Let me see. But yeah, that's how we met. And also stay tuned for the Black Friday sale. I don't know how many of you guys are original art collectors out there, but if you guys also have, there's a website that has been around forever called Comic Art Fans, and Art has an account on there too where there's a lot of stuff, and that's actually a really cool site if you want to just browse.
There's a lot of stuff that other people posted up too of mine, so it's not just my stuff, but like sketches and things that I've done at conventions that people post and share their art collections on there. So there's a lot of cool stuff. Some of the Art Adams, Fantastic Four, and X-Men stuff that I've inked is up there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But I was going to say, like, Taylor, you came into your own when the lead here left. And it was kind of a high and dry situation. And Taylor hadn't really done any hardline stuff, any inks, like backgrounds and things. And we had 2 books. I think we were doing detective comics, maybe.
Yeah.
we were inking over Aaron Lopresti on Detective Comics, and we were doing Teen Titans over Tyler Kirkham.
That was cool. I remember that very fondly.
And Taylor not just stepped up and did something that she had never done before, which was inking on this level and backgrounds and stuff, but it was times 2. 2 different artist styles as well. So that's always a challenge to adapt, because you can't ink the same for both guys. So on the fly, I kind of had to show her how to do it, and she adapted really quick. And
you're very patient considering what dire straits we were under.
Yeah, I'm pretty. I don't know. I can be pretty patient, except with technology. Technology is my bane. Yeah, but she kicked butt. I could not believe it.
Thank you.
And then I was like, she will survive in this industry. Not just survive, but she will thrive.
Thank you. That was a good time. It was a crazy time, but it was a good time.
It was trial by fire.
I purchased a few Super Sons pages, but like you say, it's a great gallery too. Pages are well scanned, says Lord Shaper. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Lord Shaper.
Yeah, I think it's a cool site to browse. Apparently, it's a little hard to browse with some people's mobile if they're using like.
Is he talking, or are they talking about which site?
The Art by Thibert site.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Some people said they had trouble with the mobile version. If you guys ever do, let us know, because we like to look into it. And it is a Wix site. I'm not going to talk crap about Wix because they have been very good overall. But one of the things that's weird about Wix is when it updates, there's sometimes weird errors that occur, so we try to keep on top of them. So if there's ever any like funkiness that happens with browsing and stuff, just if you want to like let me know. Don't flood Art's DMs. I can take care of it. So we try to keep an eye on it and curate it.
Yeah, and we have no idea unless you guys say something.
Yeah. Because there's a big archive, you guys. Like, there's a lot of pages on that site. So, if there's something wrong with a specific character section, it's really hard to tell unless somebody lets us know. Just because there's so many.
Yeah. This is true.
But I think it's a pretty cool site.
Yeah, Taylor came up with it.
Sheldon says, they call that burning the wicks at both ends.
But we still need to look into the sound effects.
We do. We want to get a soundboard.
I would love to be able to do sound effects after we talk.
I want to do a soundboard whether we're doing a Kiss show or not that just has Kiss sound effects.
Like, you wanted the best, you got the best. Kiss. I want the car wreck one too. I want the drum, the but I also want that crash and burn, Taylor.
I want to be like Adam Carolla and play the Gene Simmons, just being like his like creepy, low, whispery voice.
Hey there. God of thunder. And rock and roll.
Let's see. Elizabeth. This character I'm working on is making me crazy, says Elizabeth. You got some drawing
Yeah, it happens.
Oh man, we should probably call it soon.
What time is it?
It is just past 7. We've had a pretty good turnout, you guys. Thanks for sticking with us.
Yes, and maybe tomorrow we'll get into the comics gate thing, because I know you guys have been DMing me. Am I in? Am I out? So, what is this?
Oh, I just ripped up a note.
Pamela's here.
EVS sent you. Oh, cool. What did he say?
I don't know. Want me to look?
Oh, yeah, please.
Okay.
I just got a DM from Ethan.
We might have to talk about that.
He's like, you're out. Well, I guess I don't have to worry about that.
Pocket Sitcom is a good soundboard. Not a Kiss soundboard, but it has a lot of canned sounds. Art will appreciate it. Ooh, I'm gonna look into that. How much longer do you anticipate black and white being in demand? Says TC.
I think we haven't really talked about it, but at least for this month.
Up until, I don't know, because I was going to say up until our print run, but I don't actually know that for a fact.
Yeah, we've talked about a couple things, but I'm really thinking that definitely this month. I don't know. I'm not like. I know I have to start turning into a planner, but I'm not really a planner. Like, I kind of just put fires out that are in front of me, and then I just kind of move on to the next one. So that's kind of how I survived 35 years in the industry with deadlines. So the stuff that we're doing right now is more of, you got to plan stuff ahead and those type of things. So I'm trying to learn, but I think, especially with a lot of the Indiegogo stuff, it's going to be just, time. I'm just going to have to prioritize more time to actually think about these things. Maybe have more powwows with Taylor and my wife.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of the, as you can see, art drawing right now. We've been doing a lot of working on the physical book lately. We've been kind of prioritizing that, so looking forward to black and white. Glad you are in demand. Thank you both, says Simon. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Simon. That was very nice of you. Yeah, I can't wait to get this book out, and that's why I'm really enjoying drawing and inking for you guys, so you can see what we're putting together right now. I wish you could see what Taylor's putting together, but the stuff she's putting together is big time spoiler alert.
Yeah, we can't show you that. One last thing. Sheldon says, I like the Kiss Saves Christmas on Family Guy, where Gene interrupts the band talking and says, rock and roll! Then Paul's like, geez, Gene, take it easy. Keep that out of sight of the camera.
I am. Can you see it?
No, we're good. I'm going to close this.
My wife wrote this in cursive.
Part shorthand.
Yeah, it's part of shorthand.
Let's see.
I think I get the gist of it.
Yeah, you guys, we'll talk about that whole thing. Don't worry.
But I mean, the thing is, just for everybody that showed concern and things that it sent me DMs, and just rest assured, we're not going anywhere. At least Taylor and I aren't going anywhere.
Yeah.
We're gonna continue to try to stay here as long as you want us to be here, meaning in this creator-owned place, where we get to YouTube for you, draw for you, talk to you, and get to create books for you, which is a blast. And this is definitely a dream come true for me, I've been doing this for a long time, and I fantasized about being able to do my own books, and with the support you guys have provided, not just support but big time support. We're at 43 something K.
Yes.
In a little bit over a month's time. That's pretty amazing, and it's a great start. And I don't mean to look a gift horse in the mouth, but you know, the money has to last us to the point of us getting to get the next one out, and so on and so on. So you know, if you guys still want to kind of back and keep us in this arena, please support the book. And you don't have to just support it by buying it, which it does, which helps, and I would love to get these books into people's hands. But what else really helps is getting the word out. And if you know anybody that likes comic books or likes this kind of entertainment, it would be awesome if you could get the word out and let them know. Yes. And spread the word, because that's just as important, because this is a ground roots movement, and we don't have an advertising budget, so our advertising budget is us doing these YouTubes for you guys, social media, and word of mouth, and word of mouth is you guys. So thanks for all the support that you've given us so far, and thanks in advance for any new support that you can provide. So, do we have anything else, Taylor?
One last thing.
There's always one last thing.
Ray Thula says, Art, please petition Mike to have one of the members of KISS, preferably Ace, be the subject of Drawn and Quartered.
Ooh, I would love to draw an Ace freely. That's my favorite KISS character.
That would be awesome.
Some people say Catman, some people say Demon. I say Ace.
Yes, thank you guys. And like Art said, word of mouth is our most valuable asset here when it comes to spreading the word. This indie game is kind of your guys' support has really built this and helped us out, and we thank you eternally. And don't forget, Black and White is still on Indiegogo on In Demand. So if you want to get a hold of that book, or if you want to maybe share with a friend, it's there for you. And we'll be here for you with a show soon. Ooh, look at that. That's new.
Yeah, this is new.
So thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications.
Yes, thanks, guys. Have a good night.